I'm going to show you the best 10-slide template for raising venture capital. This template was created by Sequoia Capital. They were early investors in Apple, Cisco, Google, WhatsApp, Dropbox, Airbnb, etc. Kind of the OGs of venture. Here are the 10 slides you're going to want. Let's talk about details on each. For one company purpose, define the company in a single declarative sentence. A lot of people get bogged down with a bunch of detail. Just keep it high level and inspirational. And I would bias toward the why instead of purely the what. Problem. Describe the pain of the customer. Don't forget that you're always building for other people. Technology is in service of your fellow humans. How are they doing this today? Presumably, the thing you're doing is going to make their life better and easier. But they probably are doing something like that today, and it's kind of broken. Then enter your solution. Demonstrate the value, provide use cases. If you've got a demo, this is a great time to demo. Maybe you've got a screenshot or a short video clip. Why now? We talked about this in another video. It's so important to understand why this hasn't happened before. Maybe it's been tried a dozen times. That doesn't mean it can't work. It just means that something should have changed or shifted in the environment that allows it to happen today that didn't allow it to happen 18 months ago. Market's relatively efficient, where if something could have been done 2 years ago, it probably is done. So you need to be betting on something that's recently converged or emerged in the technology landscape. I think market size can be pretty tricky at the earliest stages. I don't personally love thinking about TAMs because the most explosive, interesting things actually are defining new markets, but they also allow for kind of a bottoms-up analysis. In short, don't get trapped thinking Uber's just replacing taxis. Think about all of transportation that could get changed by a dispatch system like this. Competition. List the competitors. List your competitive advantages. There's always competition. Don't try to hand wave it away. Accept that it's there, be candid about it, be honest about where their strengths are and where their weaknesses are and what your strengths are relative to them too. Talk about the product you're building, the lineup, the form factor, architectures, maybe a development roadmap of what you plan to do in the next 6 months, 2 years, etc. Talk about the business model, how you're going to make revenue, how you're going to price it, what the account size are, how you plan to distribute it. Next up is team, the founder's backgrounds, any senior leadership or early employees' backgrounds can actually help convince people that this is the right team to go after the problem. And if you have any sort of board of directors, board of advisors, you can mention them here too. And finally, financials. Now at the earliest stages, you probably don't have this, but if you're far enough along, maybe you have some P&L, maybe you have a balance sheet or cash flow or cap table you could share. Now this is just a rough structure. There's tons of opportunity to innovate around this framework. And the one thing that they don't really focus on that I think is so important is exactly how storytelling works, how you tell the story of your company. And if you want to get better at storytelling, I suggest you tell your company story in a TikTok.